affordable housing programs. The mayor's directive was to build 10,000 units in her administration, right?
Yes.
Where are we at on that? Is there a shortfall? What do we need to do to improve?
We're constructed and planned, or in construction and planned, we're just under about 5,000. We've got items on the horizon. I think that, the mayor has committed funding, unrestricted funding. I think one of the biggest challenges with housing affordability in terms of what the city receives from the state and feds is that it is very restricted to whom it can serve. So a lot of those funds can only serve people up to 80% of the area median income or 100% of the area median income. And looking at our inventory and what we really need, or being able to actively participate to acquire properties that would then be dedicated, we have not been able to use those funds in that capacity. So I know you may be aware, we are partners in the Funland drive-through redevelopment, which is 356 units, 100% affordable.
Wow.
They're blowing and going. If you've driven by on Hillsborough, you'll see it's 6 buildings. Many of them already have 2 floors up, and I hope that we will be chugging along and getting citizens into those buildings as soon as we can.
That's fantastic.
But I think we need to look for other opportunities to make acquisitions, and having some unrestricted funds that will allow us to participate. We've got a couple other things, because if not, we're just like any other realtor. We're just like any other buyer. We are in
You'll never compete as a city. Number one, and number two, can the city even accomplish that goal? Is it the city's job, but also is it even possible? How much money would that take? How much taxpayer funds would that take away from other city services we need to provide housing when we can incentivize private developers to do that and provide that housing?
And I think that goes back to what we've talked about today. It's
Right.
all a balance, right?
Right.
We have to have that balance. We have to look at both sides of that story. So we are continuing. We just kicked off our infill phase 3, which is the mayor's infill housing. That really is targeted at the creation of single family. And in this phase, it will have some single family attached, which is townhome style, for sale units. The city owns several parcels south of Palm, west of Nebraska, east of the interstate. There at Mitchell and Taliaferro, that we've got several pieces in there that were put out for an RFP and will result, I think, really in a change to that little enclave of a neighborhood there, because you will see 4 or 5 parcels be under construction at the same time. So we just those agreements are getting ready to go to city council for the infill program. We still are doing rental and move-in assistance to keep people stably housed, and also looking at other opportunities to create additional units, typically in partnership.
Right.
I mean, we're not going to construct the units. The city doesn't play that role. But can we look at opportunities to partner or incentivize? I think we're getting ready to also put out an RFP for the Army Navy Royal Lot in downtown, which in downtown, as you mentioned, has unlimited density and intensity. So that could be
Go big.
a very pivotal redevelopment opportunity that will introduce additional affordable housing into the urban core.
Yeah, you got to go big on that one, right? That's an amazing site and an awesome opportunity. I wasn't aware the city owned that site.
The CRA, let me just say, the Community Redevelopment Agency was the purchaser of the lot. So
Got it. So
it's a combination with the city and the CRA. Yes.
Now, what are we looking at here? This will be a part of that affordable housing solution.
This is going to be, we'll put out an RFP for this, request for proposals, and it will have certain parameters to it. Given that it is in the CRA, there will be that affordable housing component, and we will look to specify minimum number of units and also different income tiers that those units will serve. And then other development aspects, there'll be some mobility aspects in there. I think that we're also working with FDOT because there is going to be a reconfiguration of that Ashley exit to create really a huge opportunity here to introduce development that serves a number of different areas.
Zoom out slightly, Tyler, because this is right here. Stay here. So if people can see above Fortune, this is the site. That's the Army-Navy site we were talking about. You see the off-ramp here on the left, Ashley Drive. All of that is being discussed to essentially be removed and reconfigured up in the north along Scott, correct?
Yes.
What an amazing opportunity. You're talking about a lot of new land to be developed that just basically doesn't exist. Almost in a similar way where air has been created out of nothing, thin air, right? It's like that lot didn't exist before, but the city realigned the street grid and created a new lot. That is massive. Like from a money perspective, the city's creating millions of dollars. You're providing hundreds of people with housing. That seems like the reconfiguring of street grids and the efficiency of our infrastructure also plays a role in this entire conversation we're talking about. Specifically here, here's the Army-Navy site. And then go left, Tyler, look left. See the overpass and all that is talking about going to be removed. How far along are we at in that process?
I'm going to have to, I can't speak knowledgeably to that. That's something that Stephen and his team were really involved in, and I'm just getting up to speed on some of that. So I know those discussions have happened, and I believe there's been some preliminary design concepts that are being discussed.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
Because again, an incredible opportunity for the city to create land, essentially. Do you think this will happen in other parts of the city too? I mean, I know specifically the Crosstown is reconfiguring some exits.
I would say we're pretty limited.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look around at our development pattern, we abut many of those. If you've traveled down the Crosstown recently and looked at Ritz-Carlton and looked at Altura and we have a lot of development that is in close proximity that may limit those opportunities for those reconfigurations. I know we have some other infill opportunities. If you've been watching the news lately, the Robles Park redevelopment, which will go from like around 400 and some units. That was one of our last barrack-style affordable housing projects with the Housing Authority. That's now going to go close to 1,800 units in that area off of Florida and Lake.
Wow.
So
great news.
Just reinvention of some of the older areas of the city that have an opportunity to meet some of our needs in those housing challenges, but also really just create better places.
Hey guys, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, click right here. Make sure to subscribe by clicking right here. Thank you for watching.